Hi guys, today I just want to show you guys about my past experiences. Like, to be honest, I never had like a actual boyfriend before. Like, was never in a committed relationship. But I know that I was like really the kind of girl who would always like chase men. And it's like really bad. Like, I'll be like, if I like a guy, I'll be like, this guy, I'm gonna like target him and go after him and stuff. And I know it might not really be like a good thing to do, because usually like guys would do that chasing. So I don't know, but I just want to tell you guys about two of the guys that I used to like. And for me, I think it's just something that I want to share, because it might not just have a lesson behind it, but I feel like I wanted to share because obviously I've been unfortunate in this love sense, because obviously I just don't have like you know like an actual relationship before. That's why I think it's funny to tell you guys, and also because I have like nicknames for these two guys. Because actually sorry, there's also, I have one nickname for one of the guy I'm going to tell you, but for there's also another extra guy I'm going to tell you about. And actually for this guy, he's like not really, I he left a bad impression on me, but actually I just want to share you guys because I think it's kind of funny because of the nickname, but the story is as really bad as it goes. Like, you know how in love, like there's always like good and bad parts of the story. So obviously I'm gonna tell you guys that. So the first guy I've ever liked before, he was basically a Russian guy that I met in my university. I met these two guys, and for this first Russian guy, I have no nickname for him because I found him really the most normalist person I've ever met. Like, I realized for men, like most men are weird, most men are creeps, and but for the first guy, because it's also my first someone, my first, I don't know, crush or whatever it is. And he was, still up to this day, I've met a lot of men, like not like in real life and be like online or like and like my impression of them is just that really weird. Like they have issues, or like they just and everybody has issues, but they stand out to me because they come out to me as someone who is just like blatantly like someone for me to, I don't really judge people, but I can like know that, oh, this guy is like, there's something wrong with them. Like, no offense, but definitely like yes, you know. And but I'm gonna talk a bit before. It's just for me, I've always liked men. I'm an androphile and I don't stand against men, because I really do love men. And I just want to say that I would be harsh in what I said previously, but as for me, I really think men have it harder compared to women for mental health. So I really just want to emphasize that, and I didn't want to mean it like too harshly, because I know that obviously men has it harder than women because of like stereotypes and like just like the position they have above women. But okay, so starting off is this first guy. I met him in university, and he was like my first ever, like, I don't know if he was like my crush or something, because it's really weird, because I remember just being like in a room or something, and I just don't know, it was like I was being really so spontaneous, like just like like I just saw him, and I just like, I feel like it was so random that I chose him. You know what I mean? It's like I just saw this guy, and I have no idea who he is, and he's just there, right? And then I just approached him, and I literally just asked him because he was staying alone, like where you from and stuff like that. And I think, I don't know. I mean, I think I don't know how it went, because mind you, I was like, it happened in 2017, and this year I'm going 23, like years ago. So I don't know why I said, but basically he gave me his number. Yeah, and then I saved it, and I'm like, okay, And after that, I was just saying, oh, you do, like, I asked him, like, you wanna go, like, I don't know, like, meet me at, like, I don't know, the cafe or something. Like, I just said just to meet, and she's like, yes. I think the deal was that I was about to meet him at the cafe, and then obviously I met him, and I was like, I really liked him, like, maybe like, because he was just my friend, like maybe I really liked him more, but I know he he's just my friend because he says so, right? So, but I think I counted that he's like 12. I met him 12 times. Like I was just counting that down the, how many times I met him and stuff like that. And he honestly, I think he really left me a good impression from the start. Like he was he always hold the door for me, and he would like when I'm gonna walk out of the cafe, he always hold the door, and like I'll just walk outside, then he'll just close it for me, and he's like nice that way. And I think he's really so quiet. Like I'm not sure if it's personality or me because he was bored or like uninterested, not sure. But he's like I'm always the one who's talking, and he's just always the one nodding, and I always have to asking questions and stuff like that. And and for him, I think yeah, that's how I know like he's normal and he's really nice. But I know after like that was the good part I had with him, and but then things turned really bad. It's a bad part of love and stuff like that. It's just that he started to kind of like ignore my message. Like he wouldn't see my message, and he just I think I remember he blue ticked me, but he didn't say anything. And that time I was really sad about something, and I was like really distraught. Like I think it happened like for months. I think we're together like on maybe a year. I'm not sure. But I think like that was what really got to me, because I felt like he's purposely ignoring me, and I tried to reach out a lot and he didn't really care. And that's how I knew like like it really hurts, because like first of all, like maybe to see just me and him is probably I just have a crush on him, and I don't know how it feels, probably like just him as a friend, right? So it really hurts me. And then finally just actually before he said that he's going back to Russia, I think to visit something, but he comes back because he lives in Singapore here. And then I just like before that I asked him like, because it was gonna have a birthday, and it's like, oh, do you wanna like go to like a beach or something? And he's like, sure. But then then he said that, oh, I can't because I have to go to Russia. But I remember I really told him like on that day, like I told him, oh, it's my birthday, and he's like, oh, happy birthday, smiley face and stuff like that. Like okay, fine. But then after that he started to ignore me, and I think it was just like it was all like breaking down, because like I think like he didn't like care to communicate enough. And then eventually like he I saw him, luckily I saw him, I didn't know he was back from Russia, just in university, and I saw him. I was like, oh, you're back? It's like, yeah. And then the last time I ever saw him was in like the canteen in university, and I was like saying to him like, I'm gonna go for a job, I'm gonna work. And I just left, and and I think then he removed himself from my WhatsApp, I think. And then I just called him like, what happened to you and stuff like that. And then I feel like like just really sad. Like I called him in like probably an hour or something, and he just didn't say anything. So he was crying or something, but eventually I say, I think like somewhere like bye and take care. And yeah, and I think it was like still just like just really sweet like memories to look at. The feeling is nice because he was kind of nice to me. He's the most normal man I've ever met. And I think because I'm not gonna date or marry anyone anymore, so I think he'd stay like the most normal man I've ever met in my life. And like yeah, and I don't and I think like I also saw him on Viber, but I said something, he didn't really care, so I just eventually just erased his number, and I changed my phone, so now I don't have his number at all. But after a few years, I stalked him on like LinkedIn, and actually found out that because like he was from the same university as me, but then I found out he actually went to another university to study, so maybe he was really affected by me. And I know that I'm pretty much like, I feel really horrible because I feel like maybe I did affect him. I don't know in what way, but I felt like he just wanted to study in a university, and I might be the reason for it. I don't know, because maybe like I theory is that maybe he was sad about me, so he wanted to study in a university. So yeah, but I always remember him because it was my first like guy who ever like, you know, took time to meet me and talk to me, you know, and a lot and stuff like that. And um I really still have a good impression of him. It's just that the combination was really bad, and that's what made it feel okay. So I really respect him, because I felt like though in my university I felt like my classmates still like me, and I had him, and I'm glad I had him. And I know like the quote that you meet people for a reason, and I'm really happy that I met him at the time, because I felt like he was the only one who like generally cared. And from a different school, and he was from a different school, so it's like, you know, I was like really like happy because like he wouldn't really know my friends, even though I think he knew like one of my guy friends, and I don't even like the guy friend, and eventually he's like, I cut him out too or something like that. And then, you know, and I'm just like really happy to have met him, and I only just really wish the best for him. And I'm not sure about the rumor that he was seeing someone else, but I didn't care because after that I just still met him. But I think, yeah, he was a really nice first person. I'm glad it was him and not anybody else. Okay, so for the next guy, I also met him in the same university, and this guy is really, really weird. So this guy is like my first kind of like committed, like, I mean, not exactly committed, but like we had this relation, and in this relation, like we really like explore and be comfortable with each other a lot. And you know, and it was a really nice way for me to really be myself, because he wanted me to not be shy. He confided me and let me try new things and like to be brave with him. And to be honest, like, he's just a really nice, helpful person at the first start, and he really helped me too. Like for this guy, he really helped me. Like, you know, it's just through text, right? I was just had this really difficult time with a lecturer, and he was so mad at me. He was just screaming at me, and I just told him, and I was like, you know, I think I was like crying about it. I said I'm like really crying about it, cause you know, yeah, I guess I'm sensitive in that way. And he was like, don't care what other people are saying. You're sensitive. You care too much, and something like that. And then, you know, he said that I don't like my lecturer either, and you know, and stuff like that. And I think like he really helped me. He tried to help me out of like being just wanting to end my life, but I feel like, or just about my problems. But he, because you know, he always knows that, he always told me beforehand like, I understand you more than most, and you overthink. And then one time he said that I don't listen to him, and he's like laughing emoji at me, and it's like, okay, but then like, you know, I feel like he's like a nice person, but also because I was just so deep in like being, I guess, negative, and being like just hating my life and wanting to end my life and stuff like that. I was just like, I mean, it's kind of normal because I get turbulent, and I don't really mean that I will end my life. It's just that I was in such a bad state, and to be honest, I had a issue with like, you know, dependency on sleeping pills, and I might talk about it in another video, but now it's not the time. And he just don't know how to help me, but he was still there for me, and we actually were like twin flames. And because one time we separated, and then but another time I managed to get him back, and then we kind of ruined that. But as for now, we aren't together because he blocked me, because I was just pushing his buttons and like boundaries, and you know, like I don't listen, or like I'm just like, personality differences. But to be honest, I feel like we would have been really good friends. And yeah, and but the only thing that went wrong is I started to change because he went to Australia, and I think like maybe he had some issues, and he, you know, he was just all about himself because he's a fashion model. And then he was just like saying like, at first I noticed a red flag because at first he was telling me not to kind of like comment on his Instagram post because he said that, oh, I have like others is like seeing it and you shouldn't post me because you're not the good looking type or something. And I was kind of mad, but I didn't care after that. And I was like, no, it's a pretty weird thing to tell me. But yeah, when he went to Australia, he was like insulting me. He was saying that, you know, he was like saying a lot of mean things about me, like the Australian women are hotter than I'll ever be. And mind you, he said that, yeah, the Australian women are hot to me. And I'm like, okay. And then he said that as if you're a amount to anything, cause like maybe because I was just desperate to like prove my worth to him. And then, you know, and then he said when I followed his friend, they called me a ugly creep. And that's the first word before ugly creep. Remember, I cried, but eventually I didn't care because I really knew that I liked myself for who I am. And I think before he left me, he gave me warning like don't say anything. And then because he wants to be left alone, he told me to leave him alone. But I didn't listen, so he usually blocked me. And before that, he sent me a photo of him and the girl together, and it was like the most like really disrespectful thing, to be honest. I think it doesn't really make sense. And yeah, but you know, it's kind of funny because I had like this like like image that he looks like a monkey, and he really does look like a monkey, to be honest. Like, I don't know, like after all the insults, like I don't know if I noticed this monkey thing in him before or after he insulted me, but I know that it was just apparent that because I liked when I first saw him, I think I would like him for his personality, right? But eventually, like I guess like people are always saying, "Oh, he's a model, he's handsome," but like for me, it's like it's not that. I think he's just like, you know, not like I just I guess yeah, maybe handsome, but like not really to me, to be honest. I don't know why I don't really see it. And then suddenly I saw a monkey, which is kind of like funny. And then you know, um, so and he also said about like I'm introverted, I'm cringy, I have bad genetics, stuff like that. And it's honestly really funny to me. His insults are just like really funny, to be honest, looking back. And I feel like I really do honestly like him. Like I really can understand his personality, and I don't think we're too different from each other. And but also, I really wish things could be different and we could still be good friends. But you know, things turn out this way, and I'm pretty sure like feelings that are resolved between us can't really be solved between us because you know we separated, and maybe it's for the good. And I think that he's my twin flame, and he helped me grow as a person, and I have never regretted knowing him. And I think he is a really good was a really good partner to me. And I really enjoyed being with him, and I really don't hate him no matter how much he insulted me. And I also think that I really hope he finds like peace in himself because I feel like it's so much like issues he has. And you know, and I really mean well for these two guys. And so that's just the story of like the two guys I've ever like liked before. And just like this bonus guy that I'm gonna talk about, I just wanna tell you guys that this guy is on my life, and I'm really happy. But in the first beginning, I had to curse him because I don't know if you guys know, but I'm also like I have like certain powers, like I'm a witch, so I can like curse people. And usually, and I can also like in my mind I can like imagine myself in another place, and the person would know because I know because you know some guy I knew like blocked me after that, like just enter his house and in my mind, and he blocked me because I was just creepy. But I didn't mean ill when I was like in his house. I think I just neutral. So I don't know, but he was probably still creeped out because he wants to avoid me. And I'm talking about the previous guy that looks like a monkey. Okay, so this guy I cursed is a TikToker, and I feel like he was really pissing me off because I feel like he was a predator. And I feel like at first he's like, he's got TikTok fans, he's got followers, stuff like that. But then kind of like just chat, like nice friends and stuff like that. But things took them for the worse. I think because of a communication that just like broke down, because it's either one of us that was like to blame. But eventually he was pissing me off because he was blaming me for like the things that I texted to him. He thought it wasn't right, and I said, okay, I'm sorry. And you know what really pissed me off? Like, he didn't want to forgive me, and he just stuck around. And I think like he didn't want to like block me when I hinted that he should block me. And I was so pissed off because I want to send a story to my friends and I just see his name just in the way. So I just was like so angry. Like, I think one night or just somewhere in the daytime, I was like, I just sent a lot of negative energy to him, and the next thing I knew was that he's gone. Like, I'm so glad that he's gone, because he's creepy and he's a predator, and he didn't want he to leave me when he was so pissed off. Like, I don't think it's right. If you're pissed off with someone, just leave someone. It's only common sense. Leave someone, like the two guys that I've like before, because probably I'm not their girlfriend, and probably like, why should I stay with you? You know what I mean? I mean, maybe they didn't want to be with me because they know that I like them, so it's like they just left. But then this guy is just, and I think like, he was God, I knew, and I didn't really want to care or check if he really blocked me. But all I know is that he's just gone. When I share story to my friends, he's not there anymore, and I was super glad. And yeah, so this is the first time I ever cursed someone, and I realized that I have this gift, because these two gifts, like cursing someone and being like in another place, but I'm also in another place. So I think energy is really important. Like, when you send someone like energy, like negative, positive energy, is very like the other person can feel it, and that's what really makes someone really powerful. So yeah, so I'm really glad he's on my life. Like, even though he just still follows me on TikTok, I just don't care because I follow him and everything like that, and I don't think he cares about me. I don't think he dares to come to me. And it was weird because like I kind of like a bit like taken aback, because I did dream about him, and I just woke up really startled, and I didn't get any dreams about him anymore, and I'm really glad. And I just hope that, I don't really believe that curses can be coming back to you, like he cursed me to, like he mentions my dreams. But for me, I just really just like, I'm happy I don't dream about him anymore. Even so, like, I believe in my power, I believe in what I believe in, and I wouldn't change anything about it. So I think like that's what really like got to me. Lesson of this video is that I'm aromantic and I'm asexual, and I'm not gonna get married or gonna have someone. I do love all my friends, I do love my guy friends, I do love my girlfriends, and I really really want to let you guys know that falling in love is a very vulnerable thing. Even though I don't have a actual relationship before, but falling in love is something that is scary. People do stupid things in love, and people don't know what they're doing in love. And I'm telling you about is that if you ever fall in love with someone, and it doesn't matter if they were or not, I think it's important that you still love that person, but don't take any abuse. Just leave. Any disrespect, just leave. And I think always in love, there's always good and bad, and the people who are always gonna be nice to you, I'll be loyal to you no matter how badly you mess up. And you don't have to worry if that person leaves you, because it's just maybe your destiny to be someone else, or just to be alone and try to spend time with yourself and love yourself more. And I think it's just, I think that you might not have a lesson in love after love if you break up or something like that. I might have a lesson, but it always teaches you to still go on with your life and journey through your life. Because I have struggled with dependency, on being really dependent on guys, and at my faults, I push them away because I'm too needy or I'm just too insecure. But I just learned that everybody, it's not perfect, and just because it didn't happen doesn't mean that the love wasn't real or the love wasn't genuine, because nobody is perfect, and what happened is good keep the good memories, and the bad memories just push it aside. So I think, yeah, but just rule number one is to never let someone say something so disrespectful to you. If you want to go on a date, if you want to like a guy before, please make sure you know him well, and that he's not someone who's very disrespectful. And if he's ever disrespectful, please just leave, and care enough to care about yourself to walk away from, you know, like this abusive guy or woman. Because I support lesbians too. I support LGBTQIA, and I really we're gonna take a thing or two from this, and then I'll see you guys next time.